This is The Gorge. It's a podcast where my friend Sara and I gorge ourselves in overanalyzing a topic, and The Gorge is brought to you by Ko-fi, that's ko-fi.com/THEGORGE. And Sara, what are we talking about today?
This week is our first ever Gorge Roundup. I was realizing we had to talk about how we were going to do this intro before we started recording. And I was like, oh, right, we have that bit where we talk about overanalyzing a game or game-related topic. And then, so we might have to workshop the intro. But hey, this is the first ever Gorge Roundup where we talk about what we're playing and what's in the news. It is definitely not lifted from any other podcast formats and is absolutely solely so that we can talk about more varied things. Don't worry about it. What other podcasts? Don't worry about it.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. So basically how this is going to work is every month we're going to talk about other things we've been playing that aren't actual Gorge episodes, although they may be related because this is definitely not going to be a Fire Emblem episode. And then we'll talk about stuff that's in the news. So yeah, Ben, what have you been playing?
I've been playing a bunch of stuff this week. Obviously, the past 2 days have been consumed by Fire Emblem Three Houses. We'll go into that when you start talking about it.
Okay, sounds good.
But beyond that, I played a bunch of stuff. Since I beat Bloodstained, I've been kind of going back and forth, back to Hollow Knight.
Okay.
And Hollow Knight is going really good. Playing it alongside Bloodstained is interesting because Hollow Knight is so much slower.
Really?
It's very methodical about its approach. Just like the map also feels like so much bigger than Bloodstained, which I know sounds ridiculous, but like,
well, aren't the hallways between certain areas of Hollow Knight procedurally generated?
No,
okay.
It's all one big consistent map, but the version on the Switch has all the DLC, and the DLC added a bunch of chunks.
Oh yeah.
And it's kind of hard to tell sometimes, like, if you're in a DLC area or not.
Well, I guess that's kind of good.
Yeah, they all look like more like, you can kind of tell when you're kind of like, oh, this doesn't feel like it's connected to the main plot at all.
Mm-hmm.
But like the layout and stuff and like where they're located, it's like, oh, you can just kind of stumble upon this.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, it's really cool. There's a lot less like customization compared to Bloodstained.
Right.
The knight has one weapon. He has a bunch of, you can equip different like badges to him that give you different abilities, but like, for the most part, it's just, you are in these boss fights, you are in these corridors, and you have your nail, and that's all you get. Fuck, some of those bosses are long, though.
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised that you said, maybe it's only because, like, my sole exposure to Hollow Knight has been other people talking about it and watching it at SGDQ. So when you're like, Hollow Knight's a lot slower than Bloodstained, I'm like, is it? Because it seems a lot faster to me. And then I remembered, oh, right, like, crazy people have been playing this game. But it definitely, at least to what I've seen, a lot of people, not to subtweet anyone in audio form, which is actually just called talking about someone behind their back, but I'm, internet poisoned. Some people have said you don't need to play Hollow Knight now that Bloodstained is out. And to
that's
me,
crazy.
That's crazy talk. To me, it just seems like Hollow Knight still just seems more polished than Bloodstained.
I mean, for sure, 100%, because like we talked about in the Bloodstained episode, we talked about how like it's got these weird, these weird quality of life things that could be fixed. Hollow Knight really, actually, it's because this is the Switch version and it is like the definitive edition. Like. Yeah. It's already comes with all that polish. So, for instance, the way the map system works is that it's not, you don't just walk into a room and then the map populates with it.
Yeah.
You buy a map from a shopkeeper, and then you wander around, and then when you find a bench to sit down and create a checkpoint, that's when the knight will draw his map.
Oh, okay.
So what you have to do is you have to find like a map for that section of the cave, like from the shopkeep, like the map maker. He appears in every section, and you have to find him to buy the map for that section so you can start filling it out. In the original version, he was just kind of there, like you had to just like find his character. In the Switch version, he will hum a tune that you can hear from like a room, like if you're in the room, you can hear him humming, and he'll drop pieces of paper like outside of his room, so you kind of know where it is, like you're close to him, which didn't exist in the original version, and I can't imagine that. Because, like, that's terrifying.
Yeah, because you're just basically, at that point, like, completely blind and just kind of, like, hoping and praying, right? Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that is a very slow-going game, unlike Bloodstained or unlike other Metroidvanias where it's just like, yeah, you are very methodically going room to room, and you are very rarely unlocking new abilities and stuff.
Okay.
Fucking great though. It's really good.
You said the boss fights are really slow though. Just because they're just hard.
They're hard, and they have a ton of HP. Like you are just like, you only have like 4 hits.
Oh god.
And then bosses just go and go and go.
Wow.
And they have different phases, and it's like, fortunately they are generous. Like if you die in between phases, they are merciful enough that you reload back at that phase.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm flashing back to the end of Bloodstained, where you have to fight Dominique every single time.
Right, yeah. But they also do the Dark Souls thing where, like, when you die, your ghost lingers around, and you can get all of your coins back by killing the ghost.
Okay.
And you also have, like, a broken MP meter when you die, so that you can only use, like, 2/3 of your magic until you kill your ghost.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really cool, and like if you liked Bloodstained, like, yeah, fucking Hollow Knight is right up there with it, just like in sheer quality.
It's definitely one that I like really want to play a lot, but again, time.
Yeah, I've had friends tell me like, oh yeah, I spent like 90 hours playing it.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What blows my mind about Hollow Knight is that when it came out, it already had a ton of stuff in it, and I think all if not most of the DLC was free, and it was $20 when it came out.
Yeah.
That's insane to me. That is that blows my mind.
It's fucking insane. Like, I was looking at, because my friend Dave was in town, and we were looking at Switch games because he wanted to play something like on the plane or whatever, and he's like, oh yeah, here's Hollow Knight, and I'm like, wait, that's just base Hollow Knight. Where's the DLC? It's like, oh, it's just in there. There's no like definitive edition. It's just, here's Hollow Knight.
Here's Hollow Knight. You get all of it.
Yeah, no like question about it. Just everything.
You buy Hollow Knight and you get everything else that came out for Hollow Knight, which is just tremendous to me. And I guess they've been doing really well, so I'm glad for them. And I know there's some kind of sequel or something in the works. So like,
there is. So your rival character, your Virgil Hornet, is getting her own game.
Ah, how nice.
Yeah.
Jeez, Capcom, come on! What the fuck? Throw me a bone here.
Which is great because Hornet's fucking cool.
See, this is what I mean though. Like when I joke, and I'm not really joking when I say that like DMC gave us all brainworms. Because, like, anything even vaguely action gamey these days, we're like, oh, that's Virgil. Oh, that's Dante. Oh, that's a Devil May Cry. Why aren't you making it more like Devil May Cry? Like, DMC gave us all, like, a disease where we're going, no, but if it was more like Devil May Cry, it would be better. And somebody in our Discord once was like, Sarah, it doesn't need to be like Devil May Cry. And Alf, I know you're listening. Yes, it does. It does need to be more like Devil May Cry. Everything does.
It doesn't need to be more like Devil May Cry, but it could be more like Devil May Cry. I mean,
wouldn't that be so much better? Gosh.
Yeah, I mean, it would be better if it was more like Devil May Cry.
Oh my god.
It would be more fun. It might be a good idea. Now, granted, like, when I say Hornet is the Virgil, she's nothing like Virgil.
But she is the rival character who is a badass. That's what's important here.
the knight is like the polar opposite of Dante. So people are like, like an indie game character for Smash DLC, and it's like, oh yeah, Sans or Frisk or Kara even, or just make Shovel Knight from an assist trophy to Smash. I want the Knight. I want the Hollow Knight so fucking bad. He's got such an amazing character design.
Yeah.
He's got
cute.
plenty. He's adorable.
He's a baby. I love this bug baby.
He's just this little tiny bug boy, and he's doing his best. Hornet calls him Little Ghost, and that's the best.
Oh. All the designs in this game are really cute and good. Like, the art style for Hollow Knight is just like,
Hollow Knight has probably the best gibberish I've heard since Mario Odyssey and since Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh yeah, okay.
The just like the kind of like talky gibberish that characters will do,
right,
is so fucking good in Hollow Knight, and it's such a weird thing to to point out, but I love it. I love when a game has like really.
Is one of my favorites.
It's so good.
Yeah, Midna in Twilight Princess has great gibberish.
Oh, hers is so good.
Because it sounds like... What's fun about Midna's is it's still gibberish, but it's also, like, gibberish that sounds like it's been, like, reversed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you listen to it, you're like, they took an audio of somebody just going blah, 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 and then ran it in reverse, and that's even better. So she just sounds exactly like a little horrible alien gremlin child that she is. I love video game gibberish.
It's so good. Yeah, definitely Hollow Knights is fucking amazing.
Okay.
There's a shopkeeper you can go to, and her husband is the map guy, and so she's constantly like upset because he's off traversing through the thing and leaving her to run the shop. She has the best world-weary sigh I've ever heard in anything.
Oh no!
When you go to like buy stuff from her, she just lets out this just exhausted, like frustrated sigh, and it's the best.
Oh man, that's so good.
But yeah, so Hollow Knight's really good. Beyond the stuff I've been playing for the podcast, the only other thing I've really been playing a lot of besides the podcast stuff and Fire Emblem, picked up Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Yep.
Fucking great. Ultimate Alliance games are like a step above Muso games in just the amount of fan service you can cram into one game.
Right.
The first one I played, so they were started with X-Men Legends 1 and 2, and those were just like only X-Men characters, and they did our Ultimate Alliance, which had everyone. First one had like a fucking amazing roster and like tons of characters that you would never expect to show up in anything.
Right.
Third one, do you know who Dum Dum Dugan is?
No.
Exactly. He's in there.
Okay.
Like fucking characters that like back then no one even knew who these characters were. It's like, who the fuck is Doctor Strange? No one knows back then.
Whoops. Thanks, Marvel. Looking forward to the Dum Dum Dugan movie.
Right.
2025.
But the new one's really like does that, but even better because now like some of these characters are more well known and they have like newer characters they can introduce. The roster is like fucking the biggest it's ever been.
Oh, really?
And they are pulling characters that like I never would have even like hoped I would see as a playable character.
Yeah, because like Miles and Kamala are both in, right?
Miles, Kamala, Gwen, Spider-Gwen is in there.
That's awesome.
They put Crystal, who I didn't even know existed.
Who's Crystal?
Until she's an Inhuman.
Oh, okay.
They're like X-Men, if X-Men were space royalty.
Sure, okay.
Yeah. And then, speaking of them, the X-Men are in this, and there's going to be a Fantastic Four-pack, because
oh my God.
we're finally free of the MCU. They're just like, fuck it, Wolverine's on the cover, here's Deadpool, we know you want them.
Shut up, eat your food. Eat your food, boy. And Ben's like, thank you so much for the fan service, sir.
It's so good. Like, would you ever expect the Wasp to be a playable character? Well, she is.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, it's basically like we know Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite sucked. Here's everyone you wanted.
Right. Because we're sorry.
Because they have Wolverine, Psylocke, Storm, and Magneto
as
playable characters, and it's like, oh yeah,
those guys that didn't get into Infinite.
Yeah, Deadpool even has like a bunch of his Marvel vs. Capcom moves as his special abilities in this
awesome.
one. So they know.
Where's 4? When's Marvel?
Yeah, when's the real 4? When's the real 4?
When's the real 4? You just know, like, someday it's gonna happen. They're gonna have like a conference, and it's just gonna be like a 4 on screen. And it's gonna be like, oh fuck!
That's it. Then they're just gonna walk off.
Just walk away and be like, MVC4.
Yeah, it's coming. The real one. But like Ultimate Alliance what I love about that one, about Ultimate Alliance the series, is that it's so fucking campy that it's great. All of these the heroes are all like fucking swashbuckling quips, like not just Spider-Man, but like fucking everyone gets in on it. The villains are all maniacal cackling, like, I'll show all you fools. It's the best fighting.
Yeah, fighting, it's just unironically superhero comic booky shit.
Fighting like the classic version of Doc Ock, and he's just like, I am the superior intellect, and it's
Can they please add if they add Lady Ock, I'll play this game. I will play Marvel versus not that one. Fuck the other one. Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I will play it if they put Lady Ock in, because
that would be so
put
cool.
Octavia in. She's so cool.
I am actually surprised that they didn't use Superior Spider-Man, Doc Ock, in this one, because he's like really popular right now.
I'm gonna have to take your word for it. What's the difference?
Superior Doc is Doc Ock in a cloned copy of Spider-Man's body.
Oh, okay.
So he has all of Spider-Man's abilities, but he's Doc Ock.
Oh, fun.
And that's like how he exists currently, and it's like fucking really good. So I'm surprised because like if they're using all these modern characters like Ms. Marvel and Spider-Gwen and Miles, and it's like, oh, you're also like alongside these like super classic version of these like enemies and stuff.
Right.
Really, really cool. And then aside from games, I've been reading a lot of comics.
Oh yeah.
I won't go into them too deeply because I know you don't really care.
It's okay. It's okay. You can talk about comic books, Ben.
Like getting excited for Ultimate Alliance 3. I read a bunch of stuff. I was like, oh, Ms. Marvel's in this game. I should probably read her stuff. Her stuff's really good. Her series is great because it's completely divided from everything else because she's in Jersey.
Oh, thank God.
And she's not in New York, and like the only characters that really show up is like Wolverine showed up for 2 issues, Captain Marvel showed up for a little bit, and then Iron Man shows up, and that's about it. The rest is all it's just her in Jersey figuring it out.
That's nice. That's good.
I read Daredevil. The new Daredevil series is really cool. It's so in the comics right now, Kingpin is mayor of New York.
Oh. Okay, sure.
Which is like, the heroes get to be like, yeah, I really hate how this evil scumbag with obvious mob ties is in a position of authority, and even though he's clearly evil, everyone voted for him anyway. Yeah. I hate that this happened.
Oh, what a shame, man.
It is a shame that this very clearly evil guy is in a position of authority.
Yeah.
So in Daredevil, Matt Murdock is obviously stressed about this whole thing.
Yeah, no shit.
And he gets sloppy and accidentally kills a guy.
Oh.
And the Catholic guilt hits him. Oh. Because of course it does. The Catholic guilt hits him real hard. And he kind of starts going insane. And like the Punisher kidnaps him. and he's like, it's really cool that you killed that guy, Daredevil. Now you know how cool killing is. And, like, so he escapes from there, and, like, so the defenders catch up to him, and they're like, dude, you gotta calm down. Like, what the hell happened? And he's like, I accidentally killed someone. And they're like, that's it? We've all accidentally killed someone.
Chill, dude. It's just an accidentally killing someone.
It's like, yeah, that sucks, but, like, I mean, come on, man. You gotta calm down.
It's not... I mean, it sucks, but also in the grand scheme of things, it might not be that bad.
Like,
you know?
In our line of duty, it's bound to happen, man. And so, like, he's like, you guys are all insane and murderers. We gotta turn ourselves in. And he runs off. And Spider-Man catches up to him. And he's like, all right, Daredevil, I'll level with you. I talked to the other heroes. And, you're done.
Oh.
We're making you take a break. And I told them all, like, if you see Daredevil in his costume, stop him.
Kick his ass.
Just make him go home.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
So you need to cool off. So
take a break, go see a therapist.
You're done. And so the comic is now about just like Matt trying to be a normal person.
Oh,
and
fun.
Like it's really cool. It's really interesting, and like how he deals with like not being Daredevil, but still like having the power that he can't turn off, you know?
Right, yeah, of course.
That's really fucking cool. Immortal Hulk is another one I've been reading. It is probably the best fucking Hulk thing I've ever read. It's insane how good it is.
Okay, so what's it about? Give us a quick summary.
Okay, so Banner died a while ago. He got killed by Hawkeye, and that started Civil War II, and blah, 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 who cares? He came back, and Civil War II sucked. It was awful. Holy shit.
Really?
Fucking awful.
Okay.
I won't...
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, they're past all that.
Ben, at some point we should do an episode where it's just like Sarah asks questions about dumb Marvel shit, and you can rant about how bad Civil War II is.
Fucking totally. Okay, so past all that, he came back to life, obviously, and it's like, oh, it's not your normal hero resurrection thing. It's the Hulk can't die.
Oh, cool.
Banner can die, and then the Hulk will bring him back.
Ooh, so he dies and he hulks out?
So what they're doing, what it's back to is so the original 60s Hulk was very much a horror story.
Right.
In that it wasn't the Hulk gets angry and turns into the monster, it's he turns into the Hulk at night.
Really?
Yeah. Back in the old days it was every night he turns into the Hulk.
Yeah.
So they're back to that.
Oh, wow.
And instead of it being Rage Hulk, he is Smart Hulk.
Ooh, fun. Okay.
So he can talk in full sentences, and he's like more eloquent and more like aware of what's going on, but he's a jackass.
Yes.
And they've really ramped up like the body horror and just like the sheer terror of being a Hulk.
Yeah, right.
And so not only is the Hulk immortal, but there have been other people who have been the Hulk.
Right.
Or have gotten that power. And some of them have died. And they're all coming back too.
Ooh,
and
fun.
Characters who thought they were done with the Hulk thing are being dragged back in and becoming Hulk-like again.
Oh, that's fun.
And it's like really fucking cool. And like it's basically all of these different iterations of the Hulk are just kind of like coming together.
Right.
And it's super, super good.
We need to come up with a jingle that'll play in these roundup episodes called Ben Talks About Comics. So you can just like get this out of your system once a month. Just be like, this is Ben, and he's gonna talk about comics now. I don't know.
I mean,
we'll work.
This is the first. Like, this one is like the first one. It's like I have to get everything that I'm reading out of the way,
right?
And then like next month it'll be okay. The new issues for this, and this came out, and they're still pretty good.
Okay.
Let's see, what else am I reading? I tore through all of Invincible, which is Robert Kirkman's superhero comic.
Oh yeah, I know about Invincible. I was on the old 4chan when that was running. I think back when that was actually finishing.
It's fucking good. It wrapped up, I think, like 2 years ago.
Wow. Wait, no, really?
Yeah, it went on for a very long
never
time.
Mind.
And like,
I was not on 4chan when it was wrapping up. Never mind.
The Walking Dead kind of like took over it, in
that's
popularity.
Oh yeah, God, you said Kirkman, and I just went like, yeah, okay, but then no, like that's the same guy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's his superhero comic, and like it's so it's not set in like Marvel or DC, so it's its own contained universe, so he's allowed to do whatever he wants with it, and it's just like this really good, solid, like fucking story that that like has a start and then it leads to a finish, and because like The Walking Dead wrapped up a while ago too, and I never read that, but I'm like, oh, okay, I'll check out his other work too. This I basically I would describe Invincible as if what if the Kryptonians were Saiyans?
So, like, if the Kryptonians went to other planets and, like, fucked them up and stuff?
Yeah, so, like, it starts off with the kid, like, the main character's dad is, like, the Superman equivalent. Like, he's the cape and the suit and all that, and he's, like, and, he's just a regular superhero kind of guy, and then, like, when the kid starts getting powers, his dad is like, hey, so by the way, just so you know, I'm here to conquer the planet, not save it. And I've been kind of doing the superhero thing to make sure no one else conquers it before I do. And the kid's like, no.
That's messed up.
I actually don't want to do that.
Right.
And his dad's like, that's awkward, and now I'm going to beat you.
Okay.
So then it just leads from there, like, he's trying to juggle being a regular superhero, but also, like, because it's not just about that. There's also a bunch of other villains and a bunch of other, like, alien races that show up and stuff like that. So it's kind of like being a regular monthly superhero fight the villain comic, but also there's this underlying threat of, hey, his dad's going to come back at some point and fuck it up, and his dad's people are going to try to conquer the planet at some point, and you got to deal with that.
Yeah.
Right. Fucking really great writing. It's weird because, like, I read, like, a lot of The Walking Dead, and Kirkman has this very, like, I guess kind of, like, casual writing style. Like, and it works in a zombie comic because everyone's kind of just, like, talking to each other. Like, it's a lot of just back and forth, sitting in a room and chatting. But when you are in a big cartoony superhero world where characters are flying around, that sort of, like, low-key casual style doesn't quite fit the scene.
Right.
But it still ends up working because he's just a really good writer. But it's like, his overall tone I kind of had to get used to.
Right.
But yeah, that one's really fucking good. The, what else? House of X started. House of X is the new X-Men series.
I heard it's good.
Oh my god, it's so good.
I heard it's good enough to reach, like, my Twitter.
It's the kind of thing where it's like, you read the first issue and, like, even if you weren't, like, a big comic book fan, you're like, oh, this is gonna lead to some bad shit.
Right.
Because it's basically the X-Men are like, you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna go into our own island now and be a sovereign nation.
Sure.
And no one but mutants are allowed onto our island that you can access through this weird interdimensional portal thing. And the first issue has the Fantastic Four talking to Cyclops, and they're like, hey buddy, you thought all this through, right? Like, just making sure that, you kind of, you know what you're doing here. And he's like, yeah, fuck you guys. Okay, bye.
Fuck all y'all, I'm out.
Like, a bunch of ambassadors show up on the island to, like, because the X-Men want to, like, start doing, like, trading and stuff, and they have, like, one of them's like, oh yeah, we've got a cure to a disease and we'll sell it to you if you want. Right. And the humans are like, okay. And then they're like, all right, so who are we going to meet Professor Xavier? And then Magneto is like, hey, I'm the ambassador and I'll be leading you around. And they're like, okay.
Oh no.
So it's like, All right, well, there's certainly no way this won't end in like an island burning down.
There's no possible way this could end poorly. It'll be fine. What are you talking about?
Like, just Cyclops like leaves the Fantastic Four, and he's like, you know, if your son ever wants to come to his real family, we'll be waiting for him.
Oh,
and it's like, dude,
my man, my man Scott Summer, you cannot.
It's fucking so. And so it's like, yeah, there's like a point where like the ambassadors are looking around. It's like, how do you navigate through all these like dimensional portals and stuff? And they're like, Magneto's like, oh yeah, there's signs posted, and they're like, oh, we can't read those. And Magneto's like, yeah, the mutants invented a language, and it's beamed into mutants' brains directly, and humans can't speak it.
Go
it's
fuck
ours.
Yourselves. Awesome.
That's certainly gonna lead to some complications.
Look, it'll be fine. Shut up. Don't worry about it.
So yeah, I'm really excited to see where that fucking goes.
Right.
And then the last big comic I've been reading that's fucking amazing is actually Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Oh.
One of the best comics I've ever read. Like, as far as like superhero stuff goes. Like,
wow.
It is stellar. It's a complete soft reboot of classic Mighty Morphin.
Really?
It updates them so that they're in the late 2000s. They all have cell phones and stuff. But they take like a more like I guess militaristic approach to being a Power Ranger.
Okay.
It's not so much fighting like a bunch of goofy guys and like doing action poses. It's more like, I don't want to say grounded, but more like a more standard superhero-ish type.
Okay.
Like they are a team of superheroes, like an X-Men or an Avengers fighting a bunch of villains. And like Rita Repulsa's like genuinely threatening and like conniving. They recently did a big story arc called Shattered Grid, which was uniting every single Power Rangers team.
Yes.
And then they did a thing called Beyond the Grid, which was like the exiles of that big fight got trapped in an alternate reality, and they had to deal with getting out. The problem with that was that I didn't know who they were. They were all characters that were like later Power Rangers, and
right.
they're like some of them are talking like, oh yeah, I became a ranger after I renounced my evil ways, and I still struggle with the guilt of my horrible crimes. And I'm like, I didn't watch your season. I don't know who you are. I'm sorry.
I'm sure you're going through some shit though, man.
Yeah, I'm sure that's like super relatable to people who watched it, but I didn't, so I don't know who you are.
Technically, Dan Southworth is in there somewhere. And
somewhere he's in there.
So is Johnny Young Bosch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There you go.
Actually, yeah. They got past Beyond the Grid just wrapped up, so that's all, and they're back to the Mighty Morphin team, and they did move on from the classic team to the second batch, which has Johnny Young Bosch's character in it now.
Ah,
so
awesome.
they moved on from Green Ranger to White Ranger.
Johnny Young Bosch is a comic book character now too. There you go.
And he's in everything. He gets to be everything.
Good for him.
Yeah, it's really cool, and I'm glad they finally moved on, and like they're back to the team that I know.
Right. So you actually know what's going on.
They introduced Lord Zed, and it's like, oh yeah, they turned Lord Zed into this really, really fucking menacing, like, fucking psychopath, and It's great. It's so weird, like, reading the first volume, and it's like watching fucking Goldar of all characters be like this fucking like Dark Knight legitimate threat, and like completely loyal to Rita Repulsa, and like fucking punishing himself for failing her in this like really dark room, and it's like, this is great.
It's actually pretty good. Okay.
Yeah, so I would highly recommend anyone fucking reads the Boom Comics Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So beyond that, I've also just been watching anime. Melissa and I are watching Dr. Stone and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Right.
Fucking Dr. Stone is the best shonen I have ever read and watched, bar none. Super easy to make that call.
Okay.
It's the best.
Okay.
And yeah, we got through we finished part 3 of JoJo, and I need to watch the finale of part 5.
That aired on Friday,
that aired
right?
today.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah. The special hour-long finale of Part 5. Now it's the wait for Part 6.
Aw. Gonna have to wait, buddy.
JoJo Friday is over.
JoJo Friday is over. Sorry.
But yeah, that's about it for my month.
Wow.
Mostly, like, just... I mean, I played, like... Oh, yeah, I guess I also played my friend Pedro a little bit, too.
Oh, yeah.
That's really good. It's right in the same vein as, like, the other, like, fucking Devolver Digital games where you are a psychopath and you kill people and it's wacky and weird and, like, really dark humor. It's like... I described it on Twitter as, like, a jankier Katana Zero, but in a good way.
Okay.
So yeah, it's basically my friend Pedro is the Deadpool game. It's the best Deadpool game that's ever been made.
Okay. Yeah. That tracks.
That's the way I would describe it.
Okay. That sounds cool.
But that's it for me. Sarah, what have you been up to?
Ben, you consume a lot more stuff on a monthly basis than I do. So I feel like mine is always going to be a lot shorter than you. I'm like, this actually really glad I had this idea for the roundup episodes, because like part of the way this works is that like Ben tends to like pick a bunch of things and just kind of try lots of different things. My ass is like, no, I like this one thing and my life is about this one thing for the next 6 months or, however long. So, although I will say, again, this is, me going, like, I was totally locked onto something. After we talked about Katana Zero, I played a lot more Katana Zero even after we talked about it, because I realized I really like playing Katana Zero kind of just to sit down and like fiddle with it and get good at it and work out the rhythms and stuff. Like Katana Zero kind of scratches a spot in my brain that like other action games kind of scratch, the way that like Dusk and DMC, like those really fast-paced action games that are all kind of my same jam. It kind of hit that same spot. Obviously it is completely different, it's not the same at all, but there's just a part of my brain that's like, no, we like killing things fast. Let's keep doing that over and over again. And I'm like, okay, I'll do that, sure.
Like, I haven't played, like, since Katana Zero, I haven't really played a game that does, like, that allows me to just, like, go back and do missions. So, yeah, that's kind of interesting.
It is a lot. I mean, the other thing that came out this year that lets me do that is Devil May Cry, which is another game where I was just like, let's just sit down and try and grind out an S rank in, mission 10, which is impossible. And no, it can't be done. I'm not good enough at video games to get an S rank at mission 10. Sorry, it's just not gonna happen. A lot of people have been talking. Actually, the S rank requirements for mission 10 are insane. You basically have to never get hit. It's kind of like how that demo of mission 2 from 5 came out, and like nobody could S rank it, and everyone was like, "Oh, you have to never get hit once." Yeah.
Flawless.
Mission 10 is the mission when Dante wakes up, for the record.
Right. Okay.
And it's super, it's not Cavalier Angelo. It's the one before that. It's just super hard to S rank. It's like, what is going on?
And isn't it also, like, pretty long, too?
Yeah, that's the other problem. So, yeah, it's kind of got that problem. Like, okay, thanks. But yeah, no, Katana Zero kind of has that same thing going on where I just, like... Basically, my favorite thing up until this past Friday, my favorite thing to do was literally just come home and turn on Katana Zero and start speedrun mode and not even really try to necessarily speedrun it, but that it has that kind of joy of just playing it well and getting better at it and clearing... Like, you can stop your run and it'll tell you how many deaths you've got and stuff per level. And just like watching that, trying to grind out and get that number down and get better at it. Because, when I played it for the podcast, it was bad. But I'm getting better now. I'm getting a lot better now.
So does it keep track of your stats? Like, can you, like, check your best time for each level?
Mm-hmm.
That's super cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. I really like speedrun mode because as much as I like Katana Zero's plot, I also just like playing Katana Zero. So being able to just sit down and play it without any interruptions or anything like that has been great. It's been a good way for me to just get better. I'm actually at the point now where I can clear a room, but I'll still restart it if it doesn't look cool enough. I'm just like, no, that looks super janky. We're redoing it.
You should take advantage of the Switch's screen capture.
Yeah, I should.
Fucking post some of your runs.
Ones. I should, because some of them have been, like, genuinely cool. I was actually pretty proud of a couple of them where it was just like, I basically, what I do is I watch people speedrun them and try to just replicate what they're doing on that screen.
Nice.
To varying degrees of success. Some people are robots and they are just better at video games than I will ever be. But it is still very interesting and it's a lot of fun. It's just, grind it out, try and make it look cool, do it fast. It's like my ideal just sit down and play it game. Like just for a few minutes. But it also has that problem where it's like, oh god, where did 2 hours go?
Right.
Although in speedrun mode you can beat it. Like, you can beat it in like an hour. Maybe 2. If you're doing, I mean, obviously, people, I think the world record right now is, 2 hours is really generous. No, you could beat it playing kind of poorly in like an hour. Because I think the world record is 25 minutes.
Holy what?
Yeah.
I guess that does make, but when you take out like all of the psychologist stuff and in between stuff, yeah, I guess okay.
Yeah, hold on, I'm looking at speedrun.com. Let me see. Let me get the leaderboards up right now if they'll load. Excuse me. The current speedrun world record is 16 minutes.
Bullshit. Okay, so what are they skipping? What are they?
I don't know.
Because you have to kill everyone in the room to move on.
Yeah, you do. 16 minutes. That is insane.
You literally, you can't like clip out of bounds and proceed. Like the game doesn't let you leave until you kill everyone.
Yeah, that routing must be that routing must look incredible. Because, I mean, I've watched, like I said, I watched a speedrun that was 30 minutes, I think. And, like, that routing is is very neat. It's very clean. There's a lot of, one of the things I saw somebody doing, and I tried to do it, I can't do it, is during the club infiltration, you jump over the guards, like, flashlights and stuff. So you're not wasting time, like, dancing with the crowds. I tried to do it. I can't get that timing right, so I just got shot a lot. Yeah, there's all kinds of nifty things like that. So, yeah, I really like that game. I'm looking at the leaderboards right now. Most, like, speedrun games, their boards are usually, like, Japanese and American players. Katana Zero's is incredibly diverse. There's Sweden, there's Russia, there's Spain, Finland, France. It's like, oh, that's really cool. There's one Japanese runner at 12th place and then a handful of American runners, but still, that's neat. I don't know. That's just a cool thing to see.
I wonder if that's because like it's a Devolver Digital game. I wonder because they probably have more worldwide appeal.
Yeah, I would think so.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I
that
never
is
like.
Pretty cool.
I don't think there's any other game that I can think of that like has that kind of blend.
Yeah, the real time or the full run, so like actually playing it with the plot, is the current speedrun record is 50 minutes. So that makes more sense.
That's still fucking fast.
That's pretty fast, yeah.
I think I might have spent like maybe 6-7 hours playing it.
I feel like I spent around I would say 5 to 6 hours, something like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I've just been playing I played a lot of Katana Zero. That was my big thing. I was trying to find the name of the webcomic I was reading for a while and then forgot to pick it back up, and now I can't find the name, so sorry. I'll post about it on Twitter when I can remember its name. I have it bookmarked. Oh wait, I have it bookmarked. I forgot. I had it bookmarked. Wait, where'd it go? Well, maybe I don't have it bookmarked. Where'd it go? Never mind. I thought I had... Anyways, it's a really good webcomic whose name I can't remember right now, but it's about a girl who is a twin who her brother... It's like a set in the 1700s, but it's like a fantasy world. Kind of like Dishonored, where it's like realistic 1700s fantasy setting, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like a noble lady, so she isn't allowed to go adventure. So she dresses up like her brother and steals his boat. And his best friend, who's in love with her and kind of him, goes along with her and it's good. Yeah, it's extremely good and very gay. And I can't remember the name of the book. I'll just post it on Twitter later. I'm sorry. I'm looking at my bookmarks right now, and I thought I had it bookmarked, and I can't. I'll ask Levi from BGN. He'll know, because he's the one who recommended it to me. So yeah, big recommend on that, and with that out of the way, I've been playing a lot of Fire Emblem.
Been playing a lot of Fire Emblem lately. Fire Emblem got a new game come out, if you didn't know that.
Fire Emblem came out on Friday, and I want to say I've put maybe... 15 to 20 hours into it already. It's Sunday. So, if that tells you anything.
I managed to drain my Pro Controller, which if you know anything about Pro Controllers, that takes a lot of effort.
That's impossible, yeah.
Boy, this is a fucking good Fire Emblem, isn't it?
I've never played a Fire Emblem before, and now I'm like, I want to play a Fire Emblem, all of them. So that's cool. I have literally never played. Honestly, I don't even think I've played any kind of like SRPG ever. I'm like trying to think if I've ever played one. I played Tactics, but like only the first hour when I was like 13, so that doesn't count. So like this is all completely new to me, and again I am realizing that I am dumb as rocks, Ben. Tragically, I'm extremely stupid and very bad at absorbing like a lot of information thrown at you very quickly, and this game is just like, hey, here's 10,000 menus, have fun.
I get to the point where I'm like I'm doing my monthly scheduling and stuff, and I'm walking around the monastery, and I'm like, I don't know what to do.
There's so much to do.
I don't know who to talk to. I don't know who I want to... I don't know what skills I want to level up. I don't know what I want to spend my time doing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
There's so much. And I'm like...
so much.
I got to a mission, or I got to a battle, and like... It got to the point where Melissa looked at me and she's like, are you on the same mission you were like a half hour ago?
Yes.
And I'm like, yes.
You didn't warn me that these battles would take so long.
They go on for... This is designed to be a handheld game, so you can just turn it off in the middle of a battle.
Right. They are so long. I'm just like... Can I please get something that lets me move multiple units at the same time, for God's sake? Because having to individual move every one of you bastards is so tedious. That's the only complaint I have.
No, do each one. Do each one every time.
No, that's so much work, though, Ben. Ben, that's so much work.
No, the worst, and since you didn't play Fire Emblem, you wouldn't know this, but the worst is whenever you have green units on the field.
Okay.
Like the other team, like there's you're blue, they're the enemy is red, and you have green, ally units. They're the fucking worst. They have no sense of self-preservation. They don't believe in critical thinking, and it's like you get a reward for keeping them all alive, and it's like, yeah,
thanks. I hate it. Yeah,
or they're too strong and they steal your kills.
Yeah, that's what I've been encountering mostly, is people is kill stealing. Thanks, Catherine.
Right? Fucking... Like, although, I'm trying to feed Ash, and she's like, I'll take care of that for you.
No! Go away! I don't want your help. I actually have a problem now where, because, again, this is my first Fire Emblem, and it took me a little while to realize that, like, oh, you get more experience points if they get the kill. So, for a while I was like, just kill them quickly. And now, unfortunately, that means that there's a handful of characters who are, like, way higher levels than the others. And I'm like, oh no, I fucked up. So now I'm in the process of trying to recover. But this means that Byleth, Dimitri, and Felix, like, all one-hit kill things, like minor enemies. They're taking things out pretty quickly. And I'm like, no, stop. I have to level Sylvain. Please. Give this poor idiot some levels. He needs experience points.
What you need to do is you need to find yourself some archers, and you need to cage them in.
Okay.
So you take 3 units, and you put them at 3 of the cardinal directions, and the guy that you want to level up gets in there, and he attacks.
Right.
Because the archer can't hit adjacent spaces.
Oh, okay.
So, as long as you just kind of lock that guy down from moving, he's free XP, baby.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, there's tons of like little strategies and gimmicks you can kind of do to like feed kills. Like, so they Three Houses doesn't have like the villager class, which is just like the baby can't do anything. Awakening had one. The idea with the villager is that like he starts off at level 1 when everyone else is like 5.
Right.
But he has like fucking crazy stat growth.
Okay.
So every level is proccing like 5 to 7 abilities.
Okay.
And so you just have to feed him a few kills to get him up there, and then he's like your best unit.
You're just coasting on this one rando from like a village out in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly. So
awesome.
like you have to figure that. So like that strategy's been like imbued in me. So I'm just like, oh yeah, I know how to feed kills. I know how to do this.
Yeah, Ash is boy, I keep accidentally getting Ash as like my MVP for rounds, and I'm like, my baby boy, you're so strong. He just keeps like taking shit out left and right, and I'm just like, baby, I'm so proud of you. Him and Felix. Felix is the angriest person on the planet, and the edgiest in the game. I don't care what Hubert's just an asshole, but like Felix is genuinely like the edgiest character in this game. And so like he'll just kind of like go off and do his own thing, and his seal is like constantly crest is constantly going off, so he's just like mowing shit down. I'm like, would you chill out? You're
can't take
so
everything.
Angry. You can't take all of the kills, dude. But he
have
does.
Other characters. There's other teammates here, Felix.
I'm trying to feed Annette, and you are starving my girl. I have already deeply projected onto every single character, so that's cool.
Yeah, so that's gonna make it really fun later in the game.
Thanks, Kotaku.
But like, no, actually, I did find out today. I had confirmation from Dave. Actually, you can recruit more than 3. You can recruit as many as you want.
Cool. We'll see how many I can actually manage to recruit.
I'm wondering like how many I can recruit right now that I haven't really tried for.
Yeah, I could just go talk to and be like, hey, you want to come hang out with me? And they'll
come
be like,
join
hey,
the Cool Kids Club.
You want to come join the side of justice? You just flip your shades on.
Squirtle Squad?
Squirtle Squad. It is Squirtle Squad. That's it. That's all Blue Lions are. They're just Squirtle Squad. They're so cool. Like, I don't know. The problem is it's like, man, they're so cool. And the other 2 are like, I'm sure they're fine, but look at all these kids. I love them.
All these fucking cool kids.
It's gonna be really hard to do like other playthroughs when I've projected so hard onto the Blue Lions. The only thing is you obviously can't recruit the house leaders because duh. But you also can't recruit their retainer. So you can't recruit Dedu, you can't recruit Hubert, and I think Claude's is Hilda.
Oh, is it?
I think like the most loyal to Claude is Hilda, which just blows my mind. But sure, okay, you two just be shady and lazy and weird together over there.
Are you sure it's not Lawrence? Because like...
No, because you can recruit Lawrence. I tried. I don't have the stats yet.
Okay.
I know! So, I think it's Hilda. I don't know. I need to go find out, but I'm like, there's nobody else. See, here's the problem with the Golden Deer. They're all shady, except for Raphael, who's just lovable and dumb. The rest of them are shady in a very specific way, where I'm like, you might save my life, or you might steal my car. I don't know. So, especially Claude. Claude is just like, you.
Zero trust with Claude.
Zero trust in Claude. And then Edelgard is like, I swear I'm not a fascist, but also we should absolutely smite everybody who has an unreasonable ideal of justice.
I'm just thinking now, like, I can't wait for, like, when people, I want Grand Wizard Waka to be projected on the Edelgard.
Listen, I don't know enough. I don't know much about the Fire Emblem, but I do know that the axe-wielding racist in red is a thing from that franchise. And, I mean, Edelgard is an axe-wielding girl who predominantly wears red. So I'm like, And then there's Dimitri over here who just, like, has got some problems. Like, even before we all saw the E3 trailer. We all know the boy has got some issues. But no, they were there from the start. Have you gotten Felix's, any of the supports between Dimitri and Felix? Or our Byleth and Felix?
I got one. I got Felix and Sylvain.
Okay.
I might have gotten Dimitri and Felix. I can't remember now.
You would remember.
Okay.
Because it's very aggressively like, oh, okay. That's the kind of game I've just stepped into. Alright, that's fine. Anyways, yeah. That way, he's got some problems, but I don't think he's gonna poison me and or send me to, like, the guillotine. Mm-hmm. So, we're ride or die for one troubled boy. So, one extremely troubled lad. It's fine. I'm really enjoying Fire Emblem, like, a lot. Honestly, I'm just sitting here like, I can't believe I gotta do this podcast. I could be playing Fire Emblem right now.
I don't want to get too far into it because I'm not even close to being done with the game yet. This game's fucking long. This
game is huge, and I feel like I wouldn't even be comfortable doing an episode about this game until I beat it like twice, you know?
Right.
Because there is clearly so much plot and like character stuff gated behind every house. So it's just like, oh, I'm gonna have to beat this game 4 times because there's 4 routes. Which, yeah, is it a spoiler to talk? I don't know what the 4th route is about, but I know the rumors about the 4th route. And so is it a spoiler to talk about the rumors of the 4th route?
I think we're better off waiting until we do the regular episode.
Okay.
Talk about it.
Okay. Needless to say, the 4th route is a route I probably won't actually, like, do, but I'll watch on YouTube.
Yeah, I'll see. I'll check that out and see what it's all about. But yeah, man, I'm fucking loving every second of this game.
I love Persona, but better.
This is just a better Persona. It's like crazy how much better a Persona this is than Persona 5.
It is, honestly, like, between the fact that, like, hey, they finally, like, man, having now played a Fire Emblem, I realize how much I wish Persona had, like, minor S-links between party members. Like, I wish there was a Makoto and Haru, just them interacting, S-link or something. I'm realizing how vital that is to really get a good understanding of these characters and make them feel like people who are friends and know each other. That's kind of important, no big deal. Yeah, it's been really interesting to get to just play it. I mean, it's even little small things like I can fish and it doesn't take up time. Wow, imagine that.
I literally grinded for house points by fishing.
Oh, yeah.
Just, like, use up all my bait, get some fish, get, like, 30 points a set, and get closer to getting an E+.
Yay! I'm at rank C now.
Grading is so weird in this game.
Yeah, it goes E, then E+, then D+, but then it goes just C, B, A. Like, there's no C+, that I can tell.
So fucking weird. It's so weird.
Okay, yeah.
There didn't used to be pluses. It used to just be here's your letter and you move on.
They have added extra. There's a lot of stuff in this video game, Ben. Mm-hmm. And I'm constantly uncovering more stuff in this video game. And it's like, excuse me, Fire Emblem, how am I supposed to make time for this? They keep giving me paralogs, but like, that's cool, but I can only do one paralog at a time, but I just unlocked 2 at the same time, so it's like, where am I going to find the time to do these, Fire Emblem?
You can't keep doing this to me.
I'm running out of time. I've got so many other things to do in this game. I spent most of today just grinding on, like stuff that doesn't cost activity points, just, like, battles that cost. I literally spent, like, hours grinding to get levels, and it finally worked. So now everybody has an intermediate class, which is nice. Yeah. So now everybody is useful and not just 3 characters. Now actually, like, Sylvain and Ingrid are actually doing things. I'm so proud of them. It only took 20 hours.
Like, what I really like about it so far is that, like, I'm playing this and I'm not like, oh, I never need to play Awakening again.
Right.
I'm like, I could still play Awakening. It's not like P4 to P3, where it's like, I don't ever want to play P3 again.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I could go play Awakening. This is different enough that I'm like, I could play Awakening again.
I would like to play Awakening at some point, now that I have played this video game. I would like to give it a shot, but I don't have a 3DS, so
nope.
I would really like a Switch port, Nintendo.
Nintendo, that's on you. Fucking put it on the Switch.
You don't have to put Fates. Nobody likes Fates. I don't think
no one cares about that one.
I literally don't think anybody liked Fates. Everybody I have ever talked to about Fire Emblem is like, no, I hate Fates, which is rare to have a game in a franchise this universally reviled. Like, there are still people who like Final Fantasy VIII, and that's fine. You know, I don't hate it. I don't love it either, but I don't, like, despise it. But, yeah, there's still people who are like, no, Final Fantasy VIII is a good video game. You just gotta do some stuff and to kind of make it work for you. I don't think anybody likes Fire Emblem Fates. If you do, let me know. Why?
Everyone, even if you like Fates, you're still gonna make fun of Fates.
Yeah.
The only, like, the best thing Fates gave us was Camilla, and she's only good in Heroes.
Yeah.
Because that's where she gets all of her costumes.
I swear to God, I do think Dimitri is just like, man, Xander was really popular, but he's stuck in a bad video game. Let's make another blonde who makes bad decisions. Okay.
But instead of doing the thing like that Fates did, where they're like, hey, these characters in Awakening were popular, let's just put them in. They're like, no, we're just going to make a guy that looks kind of like him.
It's got some of the same things going on, but there's still some more nuance.
I am honestly surprised that you can't, like, fucking tap the Lucina amiibo in and get Lucina as a student.
I do know that if you tap the Lucina amiibo in, you get a new battle track and some stuff, like some items. You get a different battle track if you use Lucina, her amiibo. Okay.
Cool, because Awakening had a good battle theme. I'm going to go do that as soon as we're done here.
Cool. Good. I don't have any amiibos. It sucks. I need you to mail me a Fire Emblem amiibo so I can, like, get some of the stuff in that game. So. You know,
I remember, like, there was a lot of trouble getting certain amiibos early on. Mm-hmm. And now there's no trouble.
Yeah.
Now you don't have to worry about it. You can just get one.
Yeah, but I want to spend the money, so I want you to send me yours.
No, they're mine.
No, Sarah, that's not how it works. Yeah, but you get, like, free stuff. You get, like, tea. And it's like, I have a problem in video games called I hate spending money. And I have that problem in real life, too. But, like, in video games, I'm like, yeah, I know that I need to buy tea leaves so I can have tea and make friends, and I need to buy gifts and stuff like that so that I can make friends and get more people on my side. But also, that costs money, and I don't want to. So I'm always constantly, like, my Violet is always just, like, digging through the trash. Like, is this a tea leaf or a regular leaf? I think it's a tea leaf. That's me.
I found all these worms and tea leaves in the garbage. I'm gonna go fishing and have tea.
You like this, don't you, Edelgard? No! Do you want to be friends with me now? Absolutely not. Oh, okay. I'm gonna steal Dorothea from you then.
Yeah.
Bye.
I'm gonna steal... Fine, if you won't be my friend, I'm gonna steal all your friends.
I've already stolen Dorothea. Now I just need to get Bernie and maybe Petra. Also, as a side note, not that we ever talk about politics too much on the Gorge, but like, I'm voting for Bernie Sanders in the primary, and the fact that Bernadetta's name, her nickname is Bernie, is extremely distracting. She's constantly like, Bernie isn't eating cake, and I'm like, so weird. This is weird. Now I'm just imagining an old, Jewish guy from New Hampshire being like, I'm not eating any cake. And I'm like, oh. Fire Emblem, why? So, even more of a reason to, I guess, get Bernadetta. Because, Bernie 2020. So, I'm showing my support by recruiting this tiny anime girl. I think is that Praxis? That might be Praxis.
That's how that works. Stealing her away from the fascists.
No, Bernie, no! You can't say that about people! Edelgard? Oh my god. All of the... It's horrible. I shouldn't laugh as hard as I do at, like, the Edelgard as a fascist jokes. But I do! Have you seen her time skip outfit? Oh my god.
It literally is the same, like, I shouldn't be laughing at the image of fucking Waka in a clan robe, but I do.
But I do. Yeah. Edelgard's outfit, literally the only thing Edelgard needs when she enters the room in the time skip is the Imperial March playing behind her. Are you kidding me?
She gets, like, fucking weird horns.
She has like a dragon horns fucking crown. It's like, I thought you were an eagle, bitch. You're not Daenerys Targaryen. I mean, you might be. You probably are. Oh my God.
Also, I am just gonna say one final note, though. Petra should have had an accent.
Yeah, it is weird that, like, she's got, like, garbled English, but she's just using, like, a regular accent.
Yeah, just, like, the same accent as everyone else, and it's like... just like the hint of something to kind of like make it look like you're not like making fun of someone. I guess.
It is it is weird.
It makes her just look like an idiot, really.
It makes me think she's had like a head injury and she's just like scrambling her words the way someone who's been concussed would, Like, if you have an accent and you're fumbling over your words, it's like, oh, I get it. You just don't speak. You don't speak English. I know Russian people who forget to use the a lot because it just doesn't. Okay, I don't know anything about Russian, but the way I understand it is that like the concept of like get in the car, like the part is unnecessary in Russian. So you say get in car. It's like, oh, okay. Well, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
We don't really have like Russian doesn't really have like articles in the same way we do. So, like, but if, if a person who doesn't have an accent says, get in car, I'm like, oh, you were hit very hard in the head, and that's why you can't do words.
Like, the thing is, I can't even say, like, Petra's lines without, like, getting some kind of vaguely European accent in it.
Yeah, I feel like she should have some sort of weird, like, I don't know, Norwegian or Spanish, literally any kind of accent to, like, help me understand, like, oh, she's from another, because they don't really even say that I'm aware of. Like, when you meet Petra, she's like, I'm having a hard time with your language. They don't actually, like, say that. So, when you meet Petra, you're like, why is this chick talking funny? And then they're like, oh, she's from another country. I'm like, why is this chick talking funny? There's no indication that, like, she's from another language place. Another language place? Another place that has a language. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Now I'm talking like Petra. You are from another language place, right? Yeah, absolutely.
That does sound like a Petra line.
It does. You're right. Well, okay. Anyways, Fire Emblem is really good, and I want to play more of it. So let's do the news really quickly.
Yep. Let's get to the news. So I got a bunch of stuff throughout the month.
Okay.
So let's start off with this one. Stadia Director of Product. Eventually all games will be in the cloud and we'll feel great. The Stadia Director did an AMA on Reddit.
Yeah.
To not answer some questions.
Oh god. The degree of, like, corporate bullshit legal speak in that AMA makes me want to throw up.
It's the fucking non-answers, just the complete lack of any, like, concrete information. Okay, so the big one though is, hey, in 2 years when the Stadia shuts down, what happens to our games?
Oh god, that non-answer is like the biggest non-answer of all time.
Like, what happens? Where do our games go when you shut the servers down in 2 years?
That answer is infuriating. Like, go fuck yourself. Are you kidding me?
And let me just read it, because I've never heard anyone say as many words as this without actually saying anything.
Yeah.
We get this a lot. I hear you. Moving to the cloud is scary. I felt the same way when music was transitioning from files to streaming. I still have all my old CDs in the garage, although it's hard to find a CD player these days.
Fuck
Smiley
you.
face. The same happened to movies and photos and my docs and other files, and it's great. Games are no different. Eventually, all our games will be safely in the cloud too, and we'll all feel great about it. We've been investing a ton in tech, infrastructure, and partnerships over the past few years. Nothing in life is certain, but we're committed to making Stadia a success. The games that you buy on Stadia are yours to play. From day one, we'll support takeout so that you can download your game metadata, including saves if you want to. Of course, it's okay to doubt my words. There's nothing I can say now to make you believe if you don't, but what we can do is launch the service and continue investing in it for years to come, exactly how we've been doing with Gmail, docs, music, movies, and photos. That's exactly what we're committed to. Hey!
That's not an answer!
What happens to my fucking games?
If you shut down Google Docs tomorrow, I can still download all of my docs, you lying piece of trash. Like,
that.
What does that mean? That's not an answer. That is, you can buy music from Apple now, and you just own it. You just pay. You still own your shit. Like,
if fucking iTunes goes away, the music I bought is still a file on my computer.
I still have those downloads, like. What? And then he says, like, and your docs. Excuse me? All of my docs are on a flash drive. Like, what does that mean? That is the most, like, infuriating degree of corporate doublespeak that is just, like, you're just saying nothing.
You can download your game metadata, including saves, but what happens to the game?
Why would I need the saves if I don't own the game, Google?
Will I get to transfer it over to Steam? Is that like, that's like saying, like, hey, all my games got damaged in this flood, but the memory card is fine.
That's cool. Yeah, I can totally play off my memory card. It's like, and the deal is that Steam has said before, like, yeah, if Steam, God forbid, ever goes out of business, we have auxiliary plans to, like, make sure you get to keep your shit, you know? Like, Steam has said, if we go out of business, you still get to keep your video games.
Yeah, you can download into a local file and you can have them on your hard drive. You'll be able to do that. This is like 5 paragraphs
of nothing.
Literally no answer. Nothing.
Anytime some dipshit says, "Oh, I hear you." No, you don't. No, you don't. That is the most like totally fake bullshit corporate response to anything is to say, "Oh, we hear you." No, you don't. You don't care.
This answer has only convinced me that we're going to expect the worst, which is when Google Stadia goes out of business in 2 years, the games vanish.
Yeah,
everything vanishes.
Forever. Yeah,
and there's no refund. You will not get your money back.
And it's not even like PlayStation Plus, right? If you buy free games off if you get free games off PS Plus because you have the subscription service, if you cancel your PS Plus subscription, no, you don't get to play the game anymore. But when it was free. Yeah, it came not necessarily free, but it came with your subscription, right?
Mm-hmm. The benefit of getting the subscription is you get the free games.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't have the subscription, you don't get to play those free games because you didn't buy them. You are just playing them as a bonus to PS Plus.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's fine because I didn't spend any money on it. But with Stadia or whatever it's called, with Stadia, it's not just you are paying a monthly subscription on top of paying for a game that you may or may not get to keep in the event that Stadia shuts down.
It goes on. He gives us more non-answers.
Oh my god, no.
Someone asked a question about the ISP and data caps because there's reports that you can use a terabyte of data in 65 hours of play.
Oh my god.
Sarah, how many hours of games do you play a month on average?
Oh man, I would say
in the hundreds easily a month?
In a month? Not the hundreds, but quite a bit. I mean, I would go through maybe not like a terabyte of data. I would say I play 30 to 40 hours of video games a month. Maybe more. You know? Yeah, I would say 30 to 40 hours. Oh, God. Maybe. 40 to 60. That's a lot.
Think about 30 days in a month. You probably play, on average 2 hours a day, maybe?
Yeah.
Some days you play more, some days you play less, but about on average 2 hours. So that's a terabyte a month.
That's a terabyte a month, and I don't...
Do you have a terabyte a month of data?
No.
On your internet provider?
No, fuck no. Nobody does.
What? No, okay. So...
Go fuck yourself.
Does anyone in America have that besides people in Silicon Valley and fucking...
big cities, I get. Really big cities. Only the biggest cities would have it.
No one has that. So what are you going to do about that? And his response is, I can't predict the future, but I've seen what ISPs adapted in the past. I saw it when I was at YouTube, and we can expect that to continue.
Oh my god, I'm going to throw up blood.
His plan is that Comcast
is going to be nice.
Will give us more data to play the Stadia.
Yeah, okay. For $200 a month, maybe.
Comcast will give us more data.
Yeah, because Comcast, that famously beloved and charitable corporation.
The company where you have either that option or you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I'm sure. They'll be so charitable.
They have such a great incentive to give us more data for the same price.
Yeah, no. It's either some bullshit illegal shit's gonna happen or some very blatantly net neutrality shit will be happening. Or it'll just be if you want to play your Stadia, you can for $150 a month.
They're gonna have the Stadia plan and it's gonna be $1,000 on top of the whatever charge fee, monthly fee you have to play the Stadia in general. They have to pay to Google.
And then you still have to pay for the video game.
Mm-hmm.
You still have to pay full price for the video game on top of your subscription, on top of your new Stadia tier Comcast internet plan. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's charitable.
And then, you're still going to get insane amounts of lag and delay and buffering and, they're launching this with Destiny 2.
Oh yeah.
Destiny 2.
Oh my god. And it won't have anybody playing it because it's just its own servers.
There's no crossplay.
There's no crossplay in Destiny 2.
So you can play Destiny 2 with fucking literally every other human being because Xbox, PC, and Sony are all crossplay.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can play it on the Stadia
with nobody.
with you, where you can stream your always online game.
Oh my god, streaming an MMO makes me want to die. Just the idea of streaming an MMO is just like a nightmare. Oh
Even when you are the only player playing it in the world, because no one's gonna fucking play Destiny on the Stadia.
This is just for, like, Silicon Valley tech goons. It is for nobody else. This thing it exists entirely for all of those dipshits in, like, Silicon Valley and San Francisco and Los Angeles and all these assholes who are, like, basically techno-fascists or, you know, shit like that where they're like, yeah, no, the corporate, you know, like fucking computers are gonna save the world. No, they're not. Like, God, I hate those people, and I hate the Stadia.
The Stadia is for people who, like, every month or so invent the idea of apartments.
Oh, God, you're so right. Yeah, like those pod houses in fucking San Francisco.
The dipshit who, like, every month invents the idea of the bus.
Yeah, except, like more expensive and useless.
Yeah, it's like,
that's what Stadia is.
What if there was a ride-sharing thing where you could fit, like, 25 people in the same car? Oh, you mean a bus?
It's a bus. Yeah. You know that thing you, like, purposefully crippled so that you could have cars? Yeah, thanks.
We'll call it Friends Ride.
Oh, God.
Okay, and then one more quote, though. To be clear, Stadia Pro is not Netflix for games, like some people have mentioned. A closer comparison to be like Xbox Live Gold or PlayStation Plus. Go fuck yourself.
Again, if you have to pay for the games and you don't get to keep them, then it's not like PlayStation Plus.
They've managed to somehow hit every single of the worst ideas about a game subscription service.
Even these days, like, Sony tried to do game streaming and it didn't work. So nowadays you pay for PlayStation Now and it just, like, downloads it to your console. Like, PlayStation Now apparently is pretty functional because it's just downloading it to your console and you're just paying a monthly fee and it's only, like, certain games. I don't know exactly how it works, but I do know it's not streaming anymore because Sony went, oh, video game streaming doesn't fucking work. Imagine that.
Imagine. Shocking. America doesn't have the internet infrastructure for that. Wow.
Oh my God. Next.
Okay, so the bad news continues.
I'm gonna throw up.
Shenmue 3 backers will not receive retail exclusive content. So EastNet, the company is working on Shenmue 3, since they moved over to Epic Game Store exclusivity.
Yes.
So now everyone that, like, wanted to get, like, the console version of their game or, like, the Steam version of their game is no longer getting that content on the Epic Game Store. The money, you know, the thing they donated a certain tier for, and they gave a specific amount of money to get what was listed in that thing. You know?
Yeah.
You know how that works?
Yeah.
And so, like, what does the season pass mean? Now you have to pay again?
You have to pay again for it, even though you donated to get the season pass?
And, okay, so, technically, a donation is not a sale. You know, you're not...
Right.
You didn't buy the game, you donated to get to a certain tier, and the game was one of the contents of that. But this is the problem with all this Epic Game Store exclusivity crap.
Yeah.
This is the exact example of, like, this is what happens.
Yeah.
When Riot, like, is like, okay, we'll pay for it.
Yeah.
We'll pay for your Kickstarter game. So this is setting up a precedent of what Kickstarter shouldn't be, which is a survey.
Right, yeah, exactly.
They turned this game from, hey, give us the money so we can have the funding to make it, to, hey, is there an interest to this game because we know another studio is going to come in and back it for us.
Right, yeah, exactly. And I know that sometimes that Kickstarter games already do that, but this is just kind of like it's slowly morphing into that's becoming the standard. Not for everything, because I mean, oh god, some company, who was it? Somebody told Epic to go fuck themselves. I can't remember who. But somebody a few weeks ago did, like, Epic was like, hey, let us buy... Oh, the Sam Show!
That's right, it was Sam Show!
Sam Show, the Epic was like, yeah, can we get Epic Game Store exclusivity? And Sam Show told them to go fuck themselves. Yeah, so that's cool.
And then sold more copies than they would have sold on Epic.
Yeah.
So there you go.
That's cool. Yeah. I think a lot of people's, like, fury at the existence of the Epic Game Store is overblown, but I do think that the Epic Game Store exclusivity shit is, like, really shady. I don't know. It's kind of like, if you were still getting all your stuff, I would be less like, oh, this sucks. I mean, it's still, it always makes people angry. I'm like, it's still just it's a downloader. But there's more than that.
Well, it's this weird thing of, like, so Epic is funding all of these projects, but they don't take a portion of the sales. Mm-hmm. All of their money comes from, like, investors.
Yeah. And
that's just weird to me. That's like, that doesn't seem like it can be a stable business in the long run.
It doesn't seem like sustainable. I don't know. We'll see in 5 years where the Epic Game Store is, but
it just feels like they're like, they have a bucket and they're shoveling the water out of their boat.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, it works, so the boat's floating still.
I mean, technically they're doing fine because they have Fortnite, which is, like, the biggest game in the world. So,
but when Fortnite fights bubble pops, like,
yeah, eventually, I mean, it will. I mean, Overwatch's bubble basically is popped.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, and if this kind of news keeps coming up of, like, hey, Epic is sort of, like, backhand screwing over people who bought the game.
Yeah.
Then I don't know how well that's gonna last. How much longer that's gonna last.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's like, conceptually I have no problem with the Epic Game Store. A lot of people have, like, really insane reasons. They're like, oh, well, Chinese company, yeah, Tencent has a controlling interest in Epic Games. You're right, that is fucked up because I hate Tencent. But also, like, you do know Steam is also selling your information and stuff, right? Like,
yeah, like, don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
Like, they're all shady. It's just that, like, Steam is shady and also, like, a service that works.
Yeah. So this is really more so this specific controversy and other things like it is you are directly screwing people. It's not just you have to download your game from a different, storefront. Like, that's one thing. This is like you're not getting what you literally paid money for.
It's kind of like, I guess, like, the way you would think about it, like, in a real world sense, is like, oh, the GameStop closed down, so now I gotta buy this game from Walmart. Mm-hmm. Versus, hey, I donated for the deluxe special edition. I pre-ordered that, and the GameStop closed down.
Yeah.
Where is my deluxe special edition?
Yeah, exactly.
Where do I turn this in now to get the game that I paid money for?
I've always wondered what does happen to that. What happens to pre-order money if GameStop ever closed down?
That is a good question.
I actually have no idea what would happen to pre-order money if GameStop closed down. Like, do they keep that? Do they get to keep that? I don't know.
I mean, I don't know how they would refund it.
Yeah, because I mean, you can pay for pre-orders in cash. And you can get that pre-order money back. I mean, you could cancel a pre-order and get your money back at GameStop. So,
but, like, can you go to, like, another GameStop and just say, hey,
no,
like,
you can't, because none of those, it's all, I mean, I used to work at a GameStop, like, it's all per, like, you can't cancel a pre-order at another store, even now, you have to go to the one you pre-ordered it at because like all the stores like metrics and stuff are based around pre-orders and things like that. So like I don't know what happens if a GameStop goes out of business, and like what if you did pay like $50 for like some special edition? Do you get that money back? How do you get that money back? Do you have to call like corporate?
I mean, there's probably like a process, but the process is like 15 steps.
It probably sucks, yeah.
They're hoping that you're like, never mind.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question. Anyways, next.
Anyway, finally some good fucking news.
Oh, thank God.
Batman Beyond is getting remastered in HD.
It looks so good.
This was announced at San Diego Comic-Con. I didn't put a lot of Comic-Con news on this because I know, like, you were not super interested in that.
Yeah, thank you. But I do like Batman Beyond, so.
Yeah. Hey, they announced a bunch of Marvel movies. That's the end of Comic-Con. And Loki has the worst fucking logo I've ever seen.
It's so bad. Who?
Someone pointed out, they're like, no, the thing is that it's all made of different logos from the movies, and I'm like, that's cool.
But it still looks bad. It looks so bad. It is. It is the definition of graphic design is my passion. Anyways.
Yeah. Anyway, Batman Beyond Blu-ray HD
looks good.
They looks really, really cool. According to the article, it's going to the limited edition will include the complete series as well as a chromed Batman Beyond Funko Pop, new featurettes, the Return of the Joker animated movie, and lenticular art cards, which is really cool.
Yeah, don't care about that Funko Pop. We can just put that one in like a shredder, but
in a garbage can. But the fact that it includes Return of the Joker is really cool.
Which is one of the best Batman movies ever made,
for sure. All 52 episodes of the series are included, but only 41 are fully remastered. The other 11 were irreparably damaged in the intervening decades and had to be up-res from older files.
Really? That's so interesting.
That's one of those cool. That's one of those, like, not cool, but like, you know, it's a shame that, like,
it's a shame, but it's very interesting too.
That they were able to find copies of them, but it's like, yeah, like, oh yeah, all of these old files probably got, like, this was what, 1999, 2001 ish.
Yeah, about.
Like, they were still doing, you know, hand-drawn cells and stuff.
Oh yeah, and Batman Beyond was on cells. You can tell it has the look and feel of an anime anime. Jeez. Well, I mean, it has the same kind of color palette as old cell anime, so yeah, I could say anime. And I mean, yeah, those cells and all those masters are definitely gone forever, or they're on eBay. But so you have to just rely on like old DVD rips and stuff.
It looks. There was a quick video. There's a side by side of the first fight between Terry and Bruce and the Jokers.
Yeah, looks good.
Looks stellar. Like, yeah, this is what the kind of like remaster you want to see.
I'm really hoping this means we'll get. God, I was saying I would kill a man for a Batman Beyond movie in the vein of Spider-Verse. Maybe not necessarily like actually coming across different dimensions, but just like a really well animated Batman Beyond movie featuring Terry and old Bruce, and bring back Kevin Conroy, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Because it's the only person who can do animated Bruce. I don't want like a celebrity. I guess the only problem is that celebrities always do like major motion picture voice acting these days.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, I would say Kevin Conroy is a big enough Batman celebrity.
Yeah, but I mean, we're talking about, like, you know, actual TV actors and stuff to play. Yeah. Because, I mean, even Spider-Verse had, like, real actors. I mean, Chris Pine played, you know, like, Peter Parker from Miles' universe, so.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But I mean, you know, like, but still, I just really want that movie. I would love to see a movie that looks like Spider-Verse, but it's Batman Beyond instead. God, that would be so cool. That's all I want. Because Batman Beyond is really good. It really holds up. Even Shui is
still, like, the best future slang I've ever heard in anything.
It's stupid, but it's so good, too.
I've heard a lot of future slang in reading stuff and watching TV and stuff. Shui is great because Shui sounds like it could be a word.
Shui could be, like, a word. Yeah, like dope, or, like, when something slaps. Me saying it in that kind of tone really makes me sound like a grandma. So can we please move on?
Yes. There's one final note. Like, I did find out that the old Batman animated series is on Blu-ray too.
Yes.
All 80 plus episodes for $80, which is a pretty good price.
Oh, that's
you
amazing.
You get everything and all the movies too, all the major TV movies.
Oh man, so Mask of the Phantasm.
Yeah, so yeah, all that and Sub-Zero too.
Mask of the Phantasm is so good.
So good.
Okay.
So yeah, that's cool. These two were kind of the piggybacking off the same article. So first off, Nintendo Switch Lite price, hardware differences, release date, battery life, specs, and colors. Okay. Nintendo announced new Switch model. Switch Lite.
Yep. Switch Lite looks cute. Switch Lite is cute. I wish it came in pink. It's really my only thing.
I'm sure they'll make a pink one eventually.
They need to because I'll buy it then.
Coming out in September, it's $100 cheaper than a regular Switch.
Looks cute.
Little bit smaller. I don't know. The screen is a little bit smaller too. And it gets better battery life. It's got an actual D-pad instead of the buttons on the Joy-Cons.
Yep.
Yeah. So we finally get one, and this is also hinting at the inevitable Switch Pro,
right,
which would probably be like a permanently docked version of it.
Yeah.
Or just like a better, longer battery life type thing.
Well, they did announce, I guess this is the other piece of news, was that there's like not necessarily a Switch Pro, but like a version of the Switch coming out later this year. It's just a new model number that will have an extra, about almost double the battery life. So 3.5 hours going to 6.5 hours, I think is what they said.
Yeah, it goes from 3 to 3.5 to like 5 to 6 hours.
So I mean that's pretty good because Switch battery life is horrible. I'm playing on my brother's borrowed Switch battery, and he's had it for a year, so the battery is even worse. Yeah. So when I inevitably buy my own Switch, I'm actually going to buy the new model instead of the Switch Lite. I've already made that decision because I do want to be able to dock it occasionally. So yeah.
It's a better feature than like you really think it would be. Like, I can get by without it, but like if you're going to be like the Switch Lite is really good for kids and
absolutely.
People who don't really care about that kind of stuff. But like, yeah, if you were like, I'm going to be playing this like legitimately and seriously, like, yeah, you want to be able to dock it.
Right.
And if you are going to be docking it, you might need to take care of your Joy-Cons.
Yes, because Nintendo announced they're going to actually do free Joy-Con repairs.
Which is, I think, surprising.
Really? You think?
I think that they're doing it for free and they're making a big announcement about it. I think that's actually a pretty surprising move for Nintendo. I thought it would be like, oh yeah, later versions will be fixed. So just buy new Joy-Cons.
I guess once the class action lawsuit thing happened and Nintendo knew that like their Joy-Cons didn't work, they were like, fuck.
Because it's been an ongoing issue since the console launched.
Yeah, I saw a video of like a Best Buy. Their Switch Joy-Cons were drifting, so the screen was just constantly scrolling, and it was like, oh no, it's really bad. Oh, Nintendo. Yeah.
It hit mine pretty badly. I had issues with it for a little while, until I got a Pro Controller, but like every so often it'd be like, oh, Link's not moving anymore, or like he's going in the wrong direction. And then I tried them recently playing Ultimate Alliance 3, and they just didn't, like left one didn't work at all.
Oh,
like
sucks.
It was just like it was like responsive 50% of the time.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna take advantage of sending that in and get mine fixed.
Yeah, you can send them in and get them fixed for free. So that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. What else we got? Okay, so I put one link in here, but this is really for everything. Persona 5 Royal Futaba Sakura trailer. This whole month we've been getting a lot of individual trailers.
I'm still cautiously optimistic about the Royal. I think it's going to be really good. I'm just like, it depends on how much the plot changes. I mean,
we're seeing a lot of cutscenes in here.
There's a ton of stuff. Like, I'm excited. I am pretty interested, but I am not as excited for it as I was for P5. mainly because, especially now that I'm like playing Fire Emblem and stuff, I'm like, this is just a better Persona 5. Like,
right?
Persona, like, the Royal needs to do some of this stuff.
I mean, we are seeing a lot of cutscenes with characters and without Akira in them.
Yeah, so that's good.
Which is like, that's what we want, is we want these characters to interact with each other.
Yeah, the one thing that one of my biggest problems with P5 was that, like, in comparison to 4, where, like, everybody was hanging out with each other all the time, and you get the sense that this was, like, a really close-knit friend group, there aren't as many, like, group hangout moments in P5, so it's like, they're implied to be really good friends, but I actually want to see all these weirdos hang out more often. So, you know, I'm looking forward to that, especially now that there's pool, and you can see in like videos from the Royal, you can see that everybody's playing pool together, and that's exciting. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little thing.
After this came out, we also got the Haru trailer.
Yay, my girl!
And looks like she's going to be showing up earlier, which is good, which is the thing we wanted.
Thank God, that's all I ask, is just, like, Haru getting into the plot earlier, and Goro being, like, more of a character, like, in like, the hanging out with the rest of the team sense. Those are two things I wanted from this game, and it seems like we're going to get it. I think the next trailer will be the Goro trailer, right?
I mean, like, that's the only one it can be.
Yeah, that's exciting.
We've also seen everyone's, like, dual attacks.
Yeah, they're so good!
None of them are as good as Yusuke and Ryuji's, though. Yusuke and Ryuji have the best one.
This Yakuza shit is so funny to me. It's so amazing. But it also seems like there's one for everybody. Like, because we know that Yusuke and it's like, so like in the Golden, for example, there was only one for each kind of pair of characters. So Naoto and Kanji got one, Teddy and Yosuke got one, and Yukiko and Chie got one. But there wasn't like a Yukiko and Kanji one. In 5, we saw that, you know, Yusuke and Ryuji had one, but there's also one with Yusuke and An. So I guess that means that everybody gets one with everybody, which is really, really exciting and extremely cool.
That's really great, because, like, part of the problem with P4, with the Golden's version, is that, like, your team composition might not have met those requirements.
Right, yeah, exactly. So you're never getting, like a team attack.
Because, like, you would have, like, these weird redundancies. Like, if you have Yukiko on your team, why would you have Teddy as well?
Yeah,
you don't need two healers. So like, yeah, the idea that it's everyone. We also saw that Futaba gets an all-out attack now.
And it's so cute!
And it says, get good.
Get good! Get good,
and
scrub!
It says GITGUD.
So exciting. I love it.
Which, like, and that's in the Japanese version too, is like, oh, that's great. It's spread everywhere.
Oh, so good. So glad. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for the Royal. You know, it'll be pretty good. I'm just kind of hoping, like, you know, there's some other changes. Maybe a cleaning up of the plot would be nice. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm cautiously optimistic.
This really does look like a lot more than the Golden just adding content. This looks like they are going in and changing some things too. Like,
I will say the only thing that is complete bullshit is that, like, Fire Emblem got a simultaneous release in Japan and America, so why are we not getting one for the Royal?
It's hard. It's hard to do. You can't just expect a simultaneous release. You gotta record the dialogue. You gotta
put. I mean, I know you gotta actually do the work. It just blows my mind that, like, every other, like, pretty much every single franchise, like, I think Berseria didn't get a simultaneous release, but Vesperia Definitive Edition, I mean, it doesn't really count because the PS3 version already existed, but, like, Definitive Edition got a simultaneous release. Fire Emblem got a simultaneous release. Final Fantasy VII Remake is getting a simultaneous release. It's like, guys, it's 2019.
And it's like, the thing is, like, you can't even say, like, oh, Atlas is a small company, because they're owned by Sega.
And Sega does what was Judgment doesn't. The Japanese version came out earlier because there's that whole thing with the actor who did cocaine.
But how long was the gap? Like a month?
It wasn't long. It was like a month, maybe 2.
it wasn't a big gap. And
this is a big gap. This is October, and we don't actually know when in 2020.
We are assuming 2021.
Well, no, it's still good. They said early 2020. We just don't know when. It's October of this year, and sometime at the beginning of 2020 for Europe and America. But we don't know when.
That's crazy to me.
It's a big gap. It's 4 or 5 months, and it's just the other problem is that you got to get it out soonishly because Final Fantasy VII R is happening and will destroy you.
You can't wait too long because the other JRPG is going to eat you.
It's going to eat you alive. I got bad news for you, Atlas. You can't fight that one. Nobody wins against Final Fantasy VII Remake. Yeah. So, we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Maybe they'll surprise us and it'll be fucking December.
Maybe they'll change. Maybe they'll be like, oh fuck, because there has been a bit of online backlash to this whole we've got to wait until fucking at least January. And so a lot of people have been like, hey, that's bullshit. I mean, fucking Trails of Cold Steel has a simultaneous release.
And it's also really baffling because, I'll bet at least half the game is already recorded.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, unless there's just massive changes.
Right? Unless this is a complete script overhaul. But even then, it shouldn't be this hard.
Yeah, I don't get it, man. So, we'll see.
Yeah.
What else? How much more do we have?
I have 3 more.
Okay.
2 of these are Schadenfreude and one's just fucking good news.
Okay.
Gambling laws appear to block GTA Online update in over 50 countries.
Womp womp. Get fucked, Rockstar.
Rockstar put out a DLC thing that is just a casino. It's a casino that you pay real money to get virtual casino bucks. You can't be any more gambling than this.
It's an actual casino. You're not getting anything of value.
It's just gambling. It's just gambling, people. It's just gambling, and guess what? Some countries it's illegal.
Yeah, so... who cares? Fuck you, Rockstar.
This is the most flagrant...
It's such bullshit.
Considering all the shit with loot boxes and everything going on, and pay to win, to flagrantly... We put a casino in our game.
Yeah, that's just that's another level of craven that I can't even imagine stooping to. I'm just the idea of it blows my mind. I'm oh my god, I don't even think EA would be that blatant. They're not that stupid.
Yeah, you're Rockstar. You have to know what EA's doing. You have to look at the EA controversy and be maybe we shouldn't roll out the casino.
Maybe we should hang on to the casino DLC for a little bit longer. I mean, all of these games are still making money hand over fist. Oh well, whatever. At least it's banned. Although, I mean, some people are... What blows my mind is there are people who are using VPNs to get around it. They just want to throw their money, their real money at fake funbucks. I just can't wrap my head around it. I can't. I mean, I bought money for a gacha game twice, and I hated myself both times. So... And at least then I'm getting a JPEG. You're not even getting anything of substantial in these DLCs.
It's just the idea that not only is it banned in your country, but you're going to try to play it anyway?
You're just that desperate to just toss your money into a literal hole?
This is literally the thing we talk about when they're preying on addicts.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
This is you are so fucking desperate to gamble.
Yeah.
That you are willing to download a VPN to bypass the law in your country.
To gamble on fake things. It's just, I can't wrap my head around it, man. I don't know. But whatever. Fuck Rockstar. Yeah. Fuck that shit. What's next?
Speaking of online money communities, Steam economy in chaos after Team Fortress 2 glitch guarantees players rare items. This is a relatively new article.
This one is so funny to me.
Listen, I like TF2. I played a lot of TF2 back in the day, and I will play it on occasion, and I get the idea if you want a cool hat on your character. This is hilarious. This is the fucking
so
funny.
Funny to me.
This is the idea that, like, just... This is, like, the benign version of when inevitably any fucking Bitcoin just explodes.
Right, yeah.
This is the benign cartoon wacky version of that.
This is the Looney Tunes version of the Bitcoin crash.
Everyone just got tons of rare, unusual items because of a percentage glitch in their in their marketplace, and turned all of these really valuable hats into just nothing.
That's amazing.
And there's people who are like, the economy is in shambles now. The
Team Fortress hat economy is in shambles.
And it's so funny to me. Like, there's like this weird I'm in the offshoot of like, I like hats. I'm not gonna pay for any, but like, I have a small assortment of hats that I like. I had a guy recently like keep pestering me on Steam because he wanted one of my accessories.
What?
And
Did
I'm
you sell
like,
it?
No, because I liked it.
Hey.
He didn't want to pay me. He wanted to just trade me, and I'm like,
oh, okay, that's different.
And I'm like, he's like, do you want this thing? And I'm like, no, I like, because it's Archimedes. It's the medic's pigeon.
Yeah.
And I like it. I have a genuine Archimedes. It's like a rare version of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, would you want it? I'm like, no, I like having it equipped on my medic. So he looks nice. He has a nice
He's
pigeon.
got Bird Buddy. He's got Buddy.
It's his pet. I don't want to separate the medic from his pet.
How could you do that?
He's like,
why would you?
He's like,
do
I'll
that?
give you. You can look through my backpack and I'll give you anything you want. And I'm like, no, I don't.
No.
I want my pigeon. I like him. He's a good bird.
See, that's the difference between me and you, is that I would have immediately tried to run a grift on this guy and been like, yeah, $500 right now. Because that's the kind of person I am. I'm just like, are you a stooge? Are you willing to pay actual physical money for like a digital thing? How much money are you willing to pay? Because I'm broke and I got bills, man. We all got to get by, and some people out there will spend money on a VPN to gamble in a fake video game. I will absolutely rinse these assholes for all they're worth, because that's the kind of person I am. But if he wasn't offering you any money, I'm like, yeah, keep your bird. It's fine.
I do have to wonder though, because so Valve took down trading on the market for a while. They're like, we got to fix this.
Oh,
so I'm wondering when they put it back up, like, does everyone get to keep the stuff they unlocked?
There was somebody was posting on the Steam forums that kind of made it sound like they're not going to keep their stuff, but I don't know. That would be really shitty too.
It would yeah, because I mean, like, it's not your fault. Valve fucked up.
You got a neat thing, and so what if it kind of killed the economy? It'll eventually they'll keep putting out hats, and
Yeah, they can find a way to reestablish the correct percentages for everything, and then like, it's gonna be a bit of an inflation for a while, but like, it'll settle again.
Eventually, like, new rare things will come out, and this old rare stuff will just be common stuff. It's fine.
So like, yeah, the idea that they would take it away because they fucked up.
Yeah, that would be really shitty.
It would be a really fucking shitty move to do.
We'll see. Valve is capable of some deeply shitty things, but they can also be cool sometimes. So it's like, it's definitely a coin flip.
I also think it might be.
What kind of a mood is Gabe in today?
Because like, the other thing is that like, hey, I unboxed this rare hat. Well, what's to say I wouldn't have unboxed it if the percentage wasn't jacked up?
Yeah, exactly. So, how do you? Yeah, that's true.
I mean, like, technically, without fiddling with the percentages, this could have happened.
I could have still gotten this hat. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, Team Fortress 2 hat trading is definitely like the most internet thing ever. And I'm always like blown away that it still is like a thing. That people still play Team Fortress 2 in 2019. I'm always just like, okay.
I think the weirdest thing about TF2, and this is kind of something that like I think about every so often, there is no console version of TF2.
Yeah, there is. I mean,
no,
not
but,
up
I mean,
to
like,
date.
Yeah, that's like, there's no like, considering the way that the online games work now, You could put TF2 on a like and like consistently update it like a regular, loot shooter.
Don't give Valve any ideas. They'll put it on the Switch, man. whole new generation of kids to sell hats to. Don't. You just Gabe Newell just sat up in his bed and was like, "My God, the Switch."
Because it's funny you think about like the Xbox and PS3 version of Team Fortress 2 is still an 8v8 game with no hats, no updates, no extra weapons.
Nope, it's still just the old. I bet those servers aren't even online anymore.
Oh, yeah, they're probably gone by now. But like, they never received a single update. They never got any new weapons. They never got any hats. They never expanded their player count.
That's so weird.
No maps, nothing.
That's the most Valve thing ever, though. Really, is to just like introduce a thing and then utterly abandon it and just be like, no, we're bored of this now, we're gonna go do something else. That is the most Valve thing in the world, I think. So it's very normal for the company. Am I still bitter about Half-Life? Maybe a little
bit.
Maybe a little bit. It never really goes away. It's kind of like Silent Hills. I'll probably be on my deathbed and going like, Silent Hills would have been the greatest game ever made, and then I'll die, and my family will be like, really? This is how she went?
It's that fucking 4chan post about Mass Effect 3 that's like, I will always be mad. I will forever be mad after the heat death of the universe.
Yeah. That's me in Silent Hills and a little bit Half-Life 3. I'm still kind of Mass Effect 3, now that I think about it.
I'm right along with that guy. Like, Mass Effect 3 is always going to be the one that I'm like, God, you know what, though? Fuck Mass Effect 3. Just, like...
It's amazing how much that ending soured my opinion of Mass Effect forever.
Like, any day of the week, I'll be like, yeah, you know what? Mass Effect 3 sucked. That sucked.
Mass Effect 3 did suck. It did suck. Yeah. And I think about it all the time. I'm just like, sometimes, people still, like on Twitter, I'll still see fan art, because there are still people who play BioWare games for some reason. I'll see, like, fan art, and I'll be like, oh, Mass Effect. I can replay Mass Effect. The first games are pretty good. And then I'll be like, all right, that ending. Never mind.
Not going to get to 3, though.
I'm good. I think I'll just go play Fallout 4 again for some reason. Who am I to judge? Jesus God. Anyways, what's the last piece of news, Benjamin?
We got one more. We got 9 minutes of Astral Chain footage. Speaking of...
It looks so good.
Speaking of Switch games that are just going to destroy me.
Oh God, that looks
Astral
so good.
Chain is... They're basically Platinum is throwing all of their games into one pot. There's a little bit of Bayonetta. There's some Metal Gear Rising. There's like some of their like jankier ones.
There's some like Transformers in there.
You got a little bit of every little piece in there.
What if V had his own game?
Yeah. What if V was Bayonetta and Blade Wolf was Shadow?
So cool. Looks so good. I'm excited.
They've got one in there. So you showed off. You've got 5 of the things to choose from, and they all do different things. You've got a sword one. You've got a fist one. A dog.
Yay!
An axe one, and an archer. That's all right, an archer.
Okay.
They all look really cool. You can swap on the fly. They do this really cool thing I saw where because the thing is they're connected by a chain, right? Your thing is connected by the chain. You can manipulate them,
you can
like
use
the enemy,
chain
to get caught by the chain and wrap around them. And I'm like that's super cool.
They're taking it literally, and it looks amazing. Yeah, you can use it as like a way to trip enemies up and stuff like that. It looks awesome.
You can use it to slingshot enemies too, which I thought was really cool.
That's so dope. Shut up. Yeah, I'm extremely excited for Astral Chain.
The fist one is just Star Platinum. The sword one is just Silver Chariot. Like it's, they know. There is literally the thing where they're like, oh yeah, people who don't use these can't see them.
Yeah,
and you use that to like solve to eavesdrop on people and stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, you know exactly what you're referencing. Yeah. Don't even try to front. They're personas.
They are personas and JoJo's. That's it. So it's the Persona character action game we wanted.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not called that.
Yeah, this is like hey, if you were let down by Scramble being a Muso, play Astral Chain instead.
Why would you be? I mean, Scramble being a Muso looks fucking awesome. Muso games rule. I'm actually really I'm really bummed. Just kind of taking it back to Fire Emblem for a second. I'm really sad that Fire Emblem Warriors, if that's what the Muso game is called, right?
Yeah, Warriors.
I'm sad that roster sucks and like that nobody likes it, cause I'm playing 3 houses, and anytime it kind of goes down to the ground level action, it shows like dudes all over the place, and your cool armored character is like kicking the shit out of people. I'm thinking, man, this would make a pretty good Muso game. And then I remember there was one, and nobody liked it. I'm like, man, all right.
It does suck because like Hyrule Warriors is so fucking good.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Fire Emblem Warriors, like, no one talks about because its roster is fucking terrible.
It's like all Awakening and like Fates characters, right? It's all Awakening and Fates, and then it has like Marth. Yeah. It has Marth, and it has like a few characters from Ellie Wood's game. I don't even know if it has like Roy or Ike in it. It doesn't have like Lindis and stuff in it, right? I don't think so. It's like, how do you fuck that up? She's one of the most popular characters. Even, like, if my ass, who's never played a Fire Emblem, knows who, like, Lindis is, then yeah, she's really popular, and why isn't she playable? It's just weird to me. Like, the fact that they don't even just, like, have, like, the hero of each Fire Emblem. Yeah. Like, how can you miss out on that? How do you fuck that up? Yeah, it's really weird to me. Like, I don't know. So, and I'm really bummed about that, because I like a good Muso. I don't play them as much as you do. But anytime like a Muso comes out that is part of a franchise I actually give a shit about, I'm always like, yeah, I'll play this. I played Pirate Warriors 2. I really liked Pirate Warriors 2. I'll play Scramble because Persona Muso game sounds amazing. That sounds like the coolest thing ever. Yeah. Pirate Warriors is one of the best I've ever played. I would actually, now that I'm borrowing a Switch, I'm actually probably going to play Hyrule Warriors. You should probably pick up Hyrule Warriors. It's got one of the best Link designs of all time. Oh, yeah, that Link design is so strong. So is, actually, all the designs in that game are insanely good. Like, I don't understand why that Ganondorf design is so good. And, like, the queen, and Zelda's like a queen in that game. She's not princess. She's, like, in charge, which is, yeah, that's awesome. It's so radical. Her design is so good, and yeah, I would really like to play Hyrule Warriors at some point, especially now that, like, the definitive edition is out on Switch, and I'll probably pick it up at some point. If I can get it on sale, which, you know, Nintendo games never go on sale. Right. You can probably pick it up used or something. Yeah. But yeah, no, Astral Chain looks good. Yeah. Looks fucking like everything I want out of a Platinum game. Like, literally everything rolled into one. And I think it does have some aspect of like socialization in some way, because there's a lot of characters. It's got the investigation things, like you are actually doing like minor stealth, like hey, send the dog to sniff for a trail and track someone down, or eavesdrop on a conversation to get more information and gather scan the area to gather clues and stuff. Right. And so I mean, like, I'm excited to see Platinum handle something that's not an action game. When does Astral Chain come out? Let me check that. Sorry. It's like next month, I think. Okay. August 30th. Oh, good. So plenty of time before it comes out. Good. So I can actually play Fire Emblem. Because otherwise, I got one game to play for the next, like, 3 weeks. We're gonna have to work out the schedule somehow. Shit, I don't know what I'm gonna do. This game is so much. So, yeah. Is that all the news? That's everything I got. Yeah! So, Sarah, what are you looking forward to, I guess? What do you got coming up besides Fire Emblem? Oh, God, what else is coming out this year? Jesus. Anything you got your eyes on? I am so deep into video games. Like, I don't know. Let me see. What else is coming out this year? Ton of stuff. God, too many things. I have to get back to you on that one. There's too many things. Astral Chain does look extremely cool. I'm really not up on, like, my movie game and stuff. I want to see Midsummer really badly. My brother and I were talking about that today. Little things like that. But otherwise, yeah, mostly just looking forward to getting back to Fire Emblem once we get off this call.
Mm-hmm.
So, how about you, Benjamin?
Let's see. Looking at the list of stuff I got here, I got Astral Chain coming out next month, and then Control.
Oh yeah,
looked pretty cool.
That's Remedy. That's Remedy, right?
Yes,
yeah.
I think so.
Okay, that'll be good.
I also do still want to check out Wolfenstein Youngblood.
I heard it's kind of a clusterfuck right now.
I've heard that it's getting like some like 6 to 70 or 6 to 7, like 60%, 70%. But like I mean I don't know how much that is with co-op or with just single player. I heard the single player is boring, but it feels like a game that'd be better co-op, you know?
Yeah, it's because it has a bunch of like online like stuff that I'm not terribly keen about. Like there's like level requirements to do things, and of course microtransactions and all the usual. Bethesda doesn't know how to manage. I mean, they fucked up Doom, for God's sake. How do you fuck up Doom?
Right.
You know? I was so excited for Doom on the Switch, and then it was like, no, you have to have a Bethesda account, and they fucked up the music. And it's like, oh, never mind. And they're also using an unlicensed version of Unity to run it. So it's like, never mind. I'll wait. I don't actually need Doom that badly. I'll just play Doom 2016. It went on sale.
So. We'll just wait. I also might take a look at Dragon Quest Builders 2.
Really?
I've heard people talking about it, and it sounds like a lot of what I like about, say, Dr. Stone.
Okay.
So I might give that a look at some point. But speaking of taking a look at stuff,
yes.
August we are going to try to start our streaming.
Yes, finally.
That month, because we finally have a clear like schedule to try that.
Yeah, my crunch time is over next week, so I will actually be a functioning human being again. And
so yeah, we'll get that going. Start off with Yick, and then we'll go take a look at some other stuff along the way.
Maybe something good instead.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're good. We're done.
I think we're good. Yeah, this is fun. I like doing this. I like doing a catch up thing.
Yeah, it's nice to actually talk about like lots of things instead of just one thing in depth. Yeah. So look forward to this every month. I like this new format. So yeah, we're good.
All right. I don't think we have anything to call out because we didn't review anything.
Oh, well, I guess we should do the usual thank yous.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, so thanks for
we've been doing this for 3 years and you forgot our outro? Is it just because there's like a new format and you're like, whole brain
it's because
just
this is
out?
new.
Okay.
It's all new, and I'm just like, I'm thinking about Fire Emblem.
I'm in a brave new world where we're talking about many, many video games instead of one.
Totally forgot. Anyway, so yeah. Thank you, Broke Free, for your background music. You can follow us on Twitter at The Gorge Podcast. You can follow Sara at Radio Inactivity. Yeah. You can listen to Sarah's other podcast where she doesn't do monthly breakdowns of everything, and she's going to tell you about that podcast right now.
That's technically right. Hey, I'm in another podcast called Big Gay Nerds where me and a bunch of cool queer friends get together and play tabletop games. We try out a bunch of different systems. We have a lot of fun. You should come check us out at Big Gay Nerds on SoundCloud, and you can find the links to the rest of our social media from there. Thanks.
Alright, that'll do it for us then.
Fuck Stadia.
Yeah, fuck the Stadia. Fuck the Stadia.
I'll always find a way to tell something to fuck off, and boy, really, I mean, extremely fuck the Stadia. It is so shitty. It is so bad. I hate it. Bad.
What happens to our games?
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.